Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Derica and you're watching Shelf Love with D. Hopping on here real quick to do my first ever Dollar Tree haul. I am so excited to share the books that I got with you. As I said, this is my first time shopping at Dollar Tree for books. I've been on the fence for a while about it because I'm like, what books am I going to find at Dollar Tree? But they have some hidden gems. I have seen from other hauls that sometimes they even have some of the popular authors, and then sometimes it's new authors that we haven't heard of, but that does not mean that it won't be a good book. So that realization is what pushed me to go ahead and give it a try. Although these may not be trending books or popular authors, it doesn't mean that they're not good stories, good books that are well written and just at a discounted price. Okay, so getting right into it, the first book up that I wanted to share with you guys is called Dear Miss Metropolitan by Carolyn Farrell. Not an author that I have heard of, not a book that I have heard of, but I'm excited to jump into this one. This is the first book that I saw at Dollar Tree that I did not read the back of, that I just saw what appeared to be a black girl on the cover and the title, and I'm like, okay, getting it. The other books I set to the side after I went through them and then read the back to see which I would be purchasing. But this one, if there is a black girl on the cover, people of color on the cover, I'm always going to buy it if I have the option to. All right, so let's see what this says it is about. It says, Dear Miss Metropolitan is at work up. Nope, skip that. Okay, it says, Fern seeks refuge from her mother's pill-popping boyfriend via Soul Train. Gwen finds salvation in the music of Prince, much to her congregation's dismay. And Jacinia, I believe that's how you pronounce it, miles ahead of her classmates at her gifted and talented high school, is a brainy and precocious enigma. None of this matters to Bossman, who abducts them and holds them captive in a dilapidated house in Queens. Only 2 of the victim girls are found when they are rescued. Oh my goodness. Okay, I don't want to read any more about what this is about. Like I said, I did not read the back of this at the time of purchasing, so it was so I was going into it blindly. It was a blind purchase, but this sounds like it's going to be a good one. So, all right, Dollar Tree, come through clutch. All right, next book up that I have to share with you guys is called 4 Treasures of the Sky by Jenny Zhang. I'm not sure if that is how you pronounce it. There you go. All right, let's see what this one is about. It says, Dayu never wanted to be like the tragic heroine from whom she was named, revered for her beauty and cursed with heartbreak. But when she is kidnapped and smuggled across an ocean from China to America, Dayu must relinquish the home and the future she imagined for herself. That's all I'm going to read. Y'all know I don't like to read too much, and I don't want to give too much away to you if you're interested in reading it, or to myself. There seems to be a common theme so far with these books. I did notice, at least at the Dollar Tree location that I went to, that a lot of the books were on the thriller side, which I'm not mad about it. I have been dipping more and more into thriller and I'm enjoying those reads. So I am excited to be adding more to that genre on my little library. So moving right along, the next book up that I have to share with you guys is called Blackwater Falls, another thriller. And this is by Asuma Khan. I don't know. Here we go. See if you can see that. Close. Okay. And it says, girls from immigrant communities have been disappearing for months in the Colorado town of Blackwater Falls, but the local sheriff is slow to act and the fates of the missing girls are largely disregarded. At last, the call for justice becomes too loud to ignore when the body of a star student and refugee, the Syrian teenager Raisin El Kader, is deliberately positioned in a mosque. That's all I'm going to read. Again, as I said, the common theme here seems to be thriller. So we're here for all my thriller girlies that follow me. Maybe these are some that you guys can check out and might be interested in. Okay, so next book up that we have is called Heard It in a Love Song by Tracy Garbus Graves. And this book definitely was purchased based off cover in title alone. Like, how cute is this? I would have loved it even more if her skin was a little more on the brown side, but you know, we can pretend, you know, she's a little tan. So this one was purchased just based off the title and cover. Let's see what it's about. It says, Love doesn't always wait until you're ready. Layla Hilding is a 35 and recently divorced, struggling to break free of her past, her glory days as a lead singer in a band, and a 10-year marriage to a man who never put her first. Layla's newfound independence feels a lot like loneliness. Then there's Josh, the single dad whose daughter attends the elementary school where Layla teaches, recently separated. He's still processing the end of his 20-year marriage to his high school sweetheart. He chats with Layla every morning at school and finds himself thinking about her more and more. Okay, so we know how that's going to go, but I'm interested in seeing how the story unfolds. So moving on to the next. It's called A Palace of the Drowned, a novel by Christine Mangan. Cute. All right, so let's see what it is about. It's 1966 and years have passed since the initial success of Frankie Croy's debut novel. She has spent her career trying to live up to the expectations of her editor and fans, only to fall short with each new publication. Now, after a particularly scathing review of her most recent work, alongside a very public breakdown, Frankie retreats to her friend's vacant palazzo in Venice to recharge and get re-inspired. Then Gilly appears, a precocious young admirer eager to befriend her favorite author. Gilly seems determined to insinuate herself into Frankie's solitary life, but there is something about the young woman that gives Frankie pause. So that's all I'm going to read on that one. This sounds like another good thriller. Can't wait to jump into that someday soon. As y'all know, I have 10 before the end I'm trying to get through, and I think like 10 Christmas books. So I will eventually get to these, of course, but I am just enjoying filling up my shelves. And this is called The Candy House by Jennifer Egan. Okay. So I believe I was torn between this one and another book, and I think my husband ended up helping me to make the final decision and choose this one. So it says, The Candy House opens with a staggeringly brilliant Bix Bouton, Bixbouton, a tech demigod on the first name basis with the world. Bix is 40 with 4 kids, restless, desperate for a new idea, when he stumbles into a conversation group, mostly Columbia professors, one of whom is experimenting with externalizing memory. It's 2010. Within a decade, Bix's new technology, Own Your Own Unconscious, which allows you to access every memory you've ever had and to share your own in exchange for access to the memories of others, has seduced multitudes, but not everyone. Egan spans out the consequences of Own Your Unconscious through the lives of multiple characters whose paths intersect over several decades. Okay, so a little play on memory and consciousness and things like that. I love the movie, what is that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio? The Dream movie. I think it's called Inception. I've watched that movie so many times. But one fun fact about me is I love the mind. I love psychology. At one point I was going to major in psychology, and my son, who is in college now, he's majoring in psychology. So love that. But I love the mind and how it works. So to read a story about unlocking memories and never losing any of those memories, and also being able to gain access to others' memories, that sounds good. So I'm interested in seeing how this goes. So yeah, that sounds exciting. So I'm really interested in seeing how this pans out. That sounds really interesting. Okay, so the next book up that we have is called Hudson's Kill by Patty Hirsch. I believe this is another thriller, psychological thriller or something like that. It says, New York in 1803 is rife with tension, political, social, racial, and financial, as the city expands. For whoever knows where the city will build can control it. When a young girl is found stabbed to death, both Justy Flanagan, a city marshal, and Carrie O'Toole, a school teacher, find their way to a reclusive community on the fringes of the growing city, where they uncover a craven political conspiracy bound up with the criminal enterprise stunning in its depravity. So words, right? Have a little idea of what it's about. Look, that is on the inside of the cover. I'm assuming that is the city that is being built. The city that is being built. Very cute. And this cover feels amazing. It's textured. I don't know what you call that, but it feels so good, so good. All right, so moving on to the next. I won't hold you too long. All right, and the last book that I have to share with you guys is called The Glow by Jessie Gaynor. Let you guys get a good look there. And it says, Jane Dorner has two modes: PR Jane, 25, chummy and eager to sell you a feminist vibrator or a self-care bereavement subscription box, and Actual Jane, 29, drifting through mediocre work days and lackluster dates while paralyzed by her crushing mountain of overdue medical bills. When her job performance is called into question, Jane's last-ditch effort to preserve her livelihood and pay off her debt is to land a great white whale of a client. Enter the impossibly gorgeous Cass, whom Jane discovers while scrolling through Instagram, and her unassuming husband Tom, the proprietor of a wellness retreat based out of a ramshackle country house that may or may not be giving off cult vibes. Magnetic yet mysterious, Cass is primed to be an influencer. She speaks in a mix of inspirational quotes, eats only zucchini, the most spiritually nourishing vegetable, and has baby perfect skin. Despite Tom's resistance, Jane wants to transform Cass into a high-end wellness brand, offering inner peace while making your skin glow, all at a hefty price, of course. As Jane reckons with her own long dormant ambition, she wonders, can a person really do good for others while profiting off of them? And what parts of ourselves do we lose when we traffic in power, influence, and beauty? Okay, so I feel like this is one that I probably just picked based off of the title and the cover, because I don't remember reading any of this, but nonetheless, we will get to it eventually and see if we like it or not. As I said before, if we ever try out a book or an author who is new to us and we don't enjoy, there's always someone else who may enjoy it. We can always gift it to somebody else or put it in one of the free little libraries and maybe someone else can benefit from it and enjoy it. So there's that. All right, y'all, that is all for the Dollar Tree book haul that I have. Let me know out of the books that I have which premise or synopsis, whatever, you think sounds the most interesting. I'll make a little memory note, and that will probably be the book that I start with first once I get through my other books. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know the lighting may not be great, but I wanted to film in front of my Christmas tree before the year was up. Eden is running around in the living room, and so this was just perfect case scenario for today's filming. So I appreciate you guys sticking through to the end, even if the lighting wasn't the greatest today. But that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave me a sunflower emoji, books, whatever, if you don't have much to say. And until next time, don't forget to show yourself some love today.